Welcome to the Toke&Trans. What do I say? Welcome to the Toke&Trans podcast, where we talk life, love, and getting high. Grab a J and join us. We do not condone the consumption of illicit activities with anyone under the age of 21.
What's going on, everybody? It is Sunday for you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And we are here with Bo. How you doing, Bo?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing good. It's a nice summer day. We're starting to get the heat going, and I'm feeling it. It's giving everything.
I'm also feeling it.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
With I got a new summer shirt. It's very slutty. It's like a black fishnet number with a plunging neckline, and
it's everything.
It's everything. Look, a little
flashing a little baby top surgery scar there, or double. Bam. Bo is just loving. This is his first summer with no chest. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And you know what came up in my memories? Did you see?
Yes, your first roll of trans tape. That's precious.
5 years ago today, I bought my first roll of trans tape, and I was so happy to get it. And
here you are today.
Here I am, no titties.
No, nothing. Just air. I'm so proud. We're so happy. Because you deserve it, bro. You do the work, bro. You help the other people, bro.
Oh, I love you.
Too much. Today we're talking choosing your name and changing your name with your friends and in your family. How the process of choosing a new name, tough, first of all. Second of all, implementing the name, a little bit tough. So, I mean, definitely equal tough, at least. So we're definitely I wanted to share our experiences a little bit with you guys and you beautiful people about how we did that and how we chose our names and went about implementing it. And some people go through multiple names to get to the right one. Our boy Bo is one of them. Bo.
Guilty.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I want to know how you chose your first name. The first name that you love, the Lennon, right? Lennon was your first name?
Yes, Lennon, like John Lennon.
Yes.
Which was how I had to say it all the time. I couldn't just say, hi, my name's Lennon. I would have to say, hi, my name is Lennon, like John Lennon. And because I would get two different kinds of answers. Or two different kinds of replies to my name being Lennon, and that would be what, like Vladimir? No, not like Vladimir. No one would ever name their child Lennon like Vladimir, at least not here. And the second one would be what?
What?
What? Or they would hear something else. They would hear another name that wasn't Lennon. They would hear, oh fuck. And okay. I'm let's go chronological here. So were you on Tumblr?
I was on Tumblr.
You were? Oh my god. Okay.
I was
on Tumblr. I was I was a Tumblr girly, and I was a Tumblr girly all through young adulthood. And I was on disability and not working. I stayed at home, and man, I was I'm not comparing my gender journey to my mental health at the time. Especially considering it's been consistent throughout my life and for over a decade now. And I'm very mentally well now, and it's, never changed. Right. So, but it just so happened that my gender journey happened at a time where I was experiencing a lot of mental health issues. I was agoraphobic. Like being in the car made me have a panic attack. Like being outside sucked. I didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to stay home. So all of my social interactions were online. And that, I mean, it is what it is. I had a live-in boyfriend at the time too, so it's not like I wasn't having any human interaction, and it's not like I wasn't going out. It's just that I didn't like to. And so anyway, a lot of my friends were online, and on Tumblr, one of my friends had come out as gender fluid and made this whole long post. I read the whole thing and I was like amazed. I was amazed. They changed their name in that post, and I was like that's something you can do.
Exactly.
Gender fluid,
this is an option. These words are options. What?
right? And so I messaged Quinn. Shout out to Quinn. I don't know if Quinn listens, but if they do, I love you so much. I messaged Quinn and was like talking about how.
Yeah.
Like W5, who, what, why, where, when, how.
Fine, please.
And we talked about it for a while, and I started Googling all the information, like gender fluidity, non-binary, like it was bringing me all this stuff. And I was like, transgender. And it was so weird because at the time I had a good friend who is a transgender woman.
Right.
But I don't know why I never could.
Some dots were like,
right. And okay, yeah. So I was like, I think I'm going to dip my toe in this because this feels right.
Right.
And
deep dive.
Right. So I was like, do I want to change my name? Let me
start there. Let's start there. You don't have to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So since I was terminally online, I kind of did like a soft open on Tumblr and kind of came out on Tumblr as gender fluid. And I had changed my name to Lennon, and my pronouns were they, them. And I chose Lennon because I went to a baby name generator.
Yes.
And I found names that they had like a boy names, girl names, and neutral names.
Yeah.
So of course I went to the neutral names, and I was looking up like the most popular neutral names, and Lennon, and I was just like, oh, that's fucking cool as fuck. Lennon, I love that. Yes, Lennon. And then I could be Len or Lenny, and I thought that was cute, and that was something that was important to me. I wanted something that could also be like nicknamed.
Yeah.
And because it's just cute. It's a nice little romantic idea to have about your name, and so and it also makes it feel like more authentic. I don't know, like maybe it's been your name all this time for people to have nicknames for you already. I don't know, but
it's affirming.
Right. So I did that, and Lennon was like one of the top most popular gender neutral names and stuff. So I kind of came out to the rest of the people who knew me. And no one respected the they them pronouns except my like friends that are like my age,
right?
That were my age, or they still are my age. That's how time works. But
right.
So and also like I wasn't coming out to family. It just wasn't something. I was like, that's not something I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be out to them. I didn't spend enough time around my family at all to like justify that kind of drama. So Um, I didn't, and so I started. That's when I started working for are we allowed to say where we work?
Were you previously?
Yeah,
We don't know. We're new here.
I worked at a craft store,
There you
and
go. There you go.
I got a job at a craft store, and I told them that my name is Lennon and it's not my legal name, but that's how I want to be called. And so they were like, "Cool, yeah, that's fine." And part of my job was answering phones, and so I would answer the phone and say, "Hi, this is Lennon." And at a certain point, I became manager of a certain department of the craft store, and so people had a lot of experience with me and they would want to ask for me by name, and they would mishear Lennon all the time over the phone, and they would think that I'm saying Lynn,
Oh, geez.
which was not what I wanted.
Right. Yeah. There's 2 syllables there. Yeah.
Right. So I would have to say Lennon like John Lennon. Or I'm saying Lennon, but I'm like, am I saying it too fast? So I'm like, "Hi, this is Lennon. How can I help you?" And then it's just like, now I sound like a sing-songy bitch. Like,
This is a tune. Yeah.
oh my God. Like, I don't want to, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And so after a while of being like super fucking annoyed with that, because it never got better, was always the same fucking thing with that name. And I was like, this is not what I imagined life to be after I changed my name. I was like, there's got to be something. No,
This
because
isn't clicking.
no. And at this point, I was navigating towards he, they,
Right.
and then he, him.
Mhm.
And that happening while I was discovering myself to be more masculine was just like more and more degrading. I'm like, I started T already. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So your preference changed. Yeah.
right, exactly. So that name wasn't serving me anymore.
Right.
And so I was like, I got to change this around. But I was also feeling really self-conscious about changing my name again, because I didn't want everybody to be like, eye roll, like, here's this guy changing his name again. Like, I wonder what it's going to be next week. Like,
yeah, but good for you. You know what I mean? Because it's the rest of your life with your name, and like,
right.
that's your name.
So right. So I was having a hard time. I went over to my friend's house and we got stupid high and stupid drunk. And we're just, chilling in her bedroom, listening to music, getting stupid high and stupid drunk, and just talking. And it came up that I was like, man, fucking, I don't like, what other name is there? Like, I've been Lennon and I've been that other name. I don't want to be that other name, and I don't want to be Lennon anymore. Like, what other name is there?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not like nothing felt
world, and it feels that
right.
way.
Right. Oh my God. It really felt like there was no other name in the world. I'm like, what am I going to be? Anthony?
Naming yourself is one of the hardest tasks in the world.
I'm like looking at myself in the mirror like, Kyle? Ugh. Tyler? No. Ugh.
You're like trying everything out, but it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to fit it to your specific self.
Right. Especially since what I've realized that I wanted after being Lennon for so many years was that I need something short, sweet, and to the goddamn point. Because if it's more than one syllable, these motherfuckers are going to take it and run with it in a direction I don't want them to go.
Make them go somewhere else. Yeah.
Right. And so,
yep.
So I was stupid high and stupid drunk with my friend, and like, I need like a really short name, like a one syllable name that's also cute and that no one can mishear for anything else.
Right.
And she was like, Bo. And I was like,
Stop.
bitch, not you solving all of my problems.
Even and it even being like a little French feel, like
Yes, that
with your
was
last
the
name.
cherry on top because I
Yeah.
was like, my name looks so good now. Like on paper, it's like Beau Mathieu Dubois. Je m'appelle Beau Mathieu Dubois. Like
Like a whole thing. Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it flows.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love.
So the next morning, I announced my new name. I was like, no, because that's it. That's the one. I went to Burger King, ordered something.
Yeah.
Ordered something for Burger King, and they were like, name please. And I was like, Bo.
Oh,
And
listen.
they spelled it BO, and I do not care because the same noise comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best part. Like, even if you misspell it, I know who the fuck you're talking to. Like,
It's me. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
me.
And it's the right name.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
So good.
even spelling it BO is like a cute way to like shorten it. Cause like,
Sure. Why
I
not?
mean, my boyfriend calls me Bobby,
Right.
and some of my friends call me Bobby or Bo Bear or
Yeah.
Baby Bo, which are all
Yeah.
very cute.
So cute.
Right. So
Absolutely. No, naming yourself is really freaking hard. I
yeah.
it was pretty tough for me too. I'd say that I mean I knew that like so I already had went with like a shortened version of my name, of my dead name. And I already went by that. So if like someone said my full name, they either didn't know me or it was my dad and I was in trouble. So like I already had the one syllable like nickname that I could have ran with. But for
Yeah.
me, in my head, and it was even kind of neutral, but in my head, I heard the full thing and it was just not it. So even though I wanted to use it, I really couldn't. And then I even tried to use like that syllable with names together, and it was just none of them were coming together the way they were supposed to at all. And I went on like to a baby book like website and was like going down baby names, and literally Aaron is like AA. It's like the first freaking name that popped up. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I can see how that would be affirming for me. And then I also thought to myself, this would be an easy way for my family and my like unsupportive family to be able to say my name. And in their head, they can think E and I can hear A, and it would be a mutual understanding or me meeting them in the middle. So
So they would say Aaron, but be thinking Erin, like the girl Aaron.
making them feel better.
Right. That was what you were thinking. Okay.
Right. And so I immediately put those two together and was like, that's fine. I can work with that. Like maybe that'll get them to, to do it. And so in retrospect, I am like definitely sad that I made my name like so to someone else. You know what I mean? Like 50% factored in of someone else's opinion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that was something that I didn't really love. But then it started to grow on me, and I was like, I like it. Everyone's already calling, like everyone's got it. Like a lot of my friends and gotten in, like family members, or not family members, but like my friends' family members and stuff would
Mm-hmm.
use it, and like my brother would. And so it ended up being pretty good for me. I wanted I wanted my name to be Daniel because but I didn't use that name because I had one of my best friends was named Daniel. So
Oh.
I was like, I immediately felt like I was just like duplicating, even though for me, when I was a child, if I were to like go out in the yard and I was getting dirty or I was like playing pretend or whatever, I would flip my hat backwards and I would say that my name was Dan the Man. So if someone had asked me if I did that, I'd be like, no, no, that's not me. That's nope, that wasn't me. Dan the Man did it or whatever. So it was like my own personal, like little alter ego, I guess, that I named myself probably in like the second grade. And I grew up in like a very unsupportive, like to the LGBT environment, very conservative. But my nana did she thought it was funny, she was just like, whatever, like let the kid do what they want, like, they're having fun, whatever. So
Love Nana.
yeah, Nana was really good. And she just, just let me do my thing and let me get dirty. And she would just take it as a laundry challenge to get it out of my clothes and stuff. So I
Oh my
wanted to
God.
name myself Daniel after myself being named Dan the Man, which was an early sign, early sign of being trans for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up just using it as my middle name to kind of like bridge so I could still use it, but not use it as my first. Um, but yeah, yeah, I didn't have, at the time, I didn't have the courage to deal with the people shaking their heads when I changed my name. So I didn't do
Hmm.
it. I didn't do it.
Right.
And you did it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you're like thinking about like how to choose your name, please make sure that you're 100% doing it for what your heart feels right for you as
Yes.
a person, and not to like satisfy someone else, or even like kind of think about that as like a pro, in the situation. Like use it for your body and your soul and like you as a person on the inside, because if you don't, I feel like you'll wish you did, like
Yeah.
even like with what you did, like to change your name, like you knew that was right, and now you fucking love your name, and
I
I
love
fucking
my
love your
name.
name, and like, you know what I mean? So it's perfect. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, and I've
Well,
I've really grown to love my name, and like the way
you
that,
do.
yeah, I definitely do. I definitely have.
Okay.
I know that I could always change it. I could change it right now if I wanted to, but
Yeah. That's what
yeah,
I was gonna say.
yeah, I
Because
definitely
it
could.
seemed like you were so disappointed.
Well, well, it was more the disappointment that like me using that name even didn't even do the purpose it needed to do for the people that I wanted it to do. So it didn't.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
they never ended up using that bridge, but I ended up
Mm-hmm.
just loving the way that like it sounded, and like just how affirming it made me feel. And so I never get the ERIN situation at all, at all, at all. So that's,
Oh, right,
yeah,
yeah.
like someone
Yeah, no,
assuming.
look at you.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be able to um transition and stuff and be a little more stealth in my area, especially. So yeah, I've learned to love my name, and my last name especially. I take a lot of pride in my last name. Like in my family, like we kind of like rewrote it, like it was handed to someone with a bad reputation, like handed to my dad with a bad reputation. So then,
Oh,
you know what I mean? So we were like, this is now what being a capener means, and it means you never give up, and like we have like mottos, and like I don't know, we just made it like a whole thing. So
oh.
I'm very attached to my last name, and pretty much, and that was like, so it bridged the gap, you know what I'm saying? And then it like
Hmm.
after a while, I liked the way that it flowed and everything. So I like it.
Yeah,
Definitely gonna keep it for sure.
yeah. I that's how I feel about my last name too. I mean, there's not a lot of like I know zero about my family heritage except that I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
And there's like there's like a crazy side of my family that the Dubois came from. And the crazy side of my family claims that Dubois is like Saudi. Like it came from the last name Deb Dub, and it was altered when we immigrated.
Mhm. Interesting.
But they're also crazy, so they can't be trusted. So like I don't know what's going on, but I do know that
Right.
I'm the last one in my family.
Right.
So if my last name changes, then there goes the Dubois, like that I know,
Right.
you
At
know?
least of your line or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So, and I mean, I'm not going to have any kids.
Right.
And if I do have kids, it's not like Tim would be like, okay, yeah, they can have your last name.
Right. That's not what you
He'll,
guys would want.
right. He would want them, at least to have something hyphenated. I don't know what I don't know if we're, I don't want kids. So,
Yeah.
so like,
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Was it
But, what?
I was just gonna ask what like implementing BEAU like with your family, like how did it go? Did they, did a lot of people like with friends, obviously with friends, some friends, most friends stick along, but then you kind of find out there's a few that are a little snaky that, you thought were gonna stick along but didn't. But so
Mhm.
how did other people take when you told them like this is the one, this one's my name?
Um, I was really nervous about it, but everyone took to it really well. The people who were on my team, and who were calling me Lennon already,
Yeah.
had no issue with switching to Bo. In fact, it was much easier.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was like the transition from birth name to Lennon
Yeah.
was like much steeper because
Yeah.
they were both two syllables, I feel like. And it was like also like I've been one name for 22 years and now it's something different.
Right.
So considering those things, and then you accomplish it, and now you're exclusively calling me Lennon.
Yeah.
Now you can call me Bo.
Right.
And it's just
You're
like,
already doing
oh hell yeah, Bo. Hell yeah, that's much easier. Like
right. Yeah.
it was yeah, nobody had a problem with it. And my mom didn't really want to call me by my name
Yeah.
for a really long time, and she would call me by my birth name. Um
How long would
and
you say?
um
I'm
up,
sorry. I'm sorry. I put you on the spot.
no, don't apologize. It was man, I just have a bad concept of time too. I
I
up
totally
until
understand that. I totally understand that.
up until like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And then how I'm like trying to do the math for how old you are. So like 8 years.
I came out when I was 22. I'm going to be 31 this July.
Yeah. So 7 to 9 years, somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
We're stoned.
7. Right. Yeah. I am not
So
doing mental math.
that's a lot, that's a good chunk of time.
It's a good chunk of time. There
Yeah.
was a long period of that time we weren't speaking. And then we resolved,
Mhm.
and then we rented a house together.
Right.
And I was living in the downstairs, she was living in the upstairs, and she also, like she has bad knees and a bad back and bad shoulders, so she can't do a lot.
Yeah.
So I was helping with housework and things like that. And um she would just, so she I'm sure a lot of people have nicknames from their parents, cute little baby nicknames that they just call them all the time.
Yes.
um so my mom called me Bunky,
Right.
and so I was Bunky exclusively, or Bunk. She
Right.
called me Bunk all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so I would be Bunk or Bunky all the time, and
Yeah.
I was fine with that
Right.
for, because I'm like,
A
I'd rather
period
be
of
Bunky
time.
than right. But
Exactly.
then
Exactly.
right at a certain point, I we were in the kitchen. She accidentally dead named me,
Yeah.
and then she said, "Oh, Bo, Bunk," and I was like, "Okay,
All right. Stop.
we have to stop this then.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just corrected
Right.
into Bunk, and I know that was like your brain is, you were very frazzled right then,
Yeah.
but you can't call me Bunk anymore
Right.
until you get Bo down, because that's
Right.
my name."
Right. You drew that
And you
boundary.
can't, it obviously feels very uncomfortable for her to say, which is why she doesn't want to say it. So I'm like, until you get comfortable saying it, it's
Right.
going to keep being uncomfortable in your mouth when you say it.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
need you to get used to it. Like,
Yeah, that's such a good boundary though to draw, and I'm like also experiencing that exact same situation right now. Like I'm just in a different period of time. That's why I asked you how much time, because I changed my name to Aaron probably 20 like 2015.
Oh shit. Like legally or
No, just
socially?
socially.
Oh, okay.
And went by that all like Aaron the whole time. So and we had the same similar situation with my mother, and my nickname was Bug. It was my one syllable of my nickname of my dead name, and then Bug.
Hmm.
So we just decided our mutual medium ground was to like break that off and just use Bug. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, like we can, like, I did the same thing. I'm like, this is a bridge. All right. We'll
Hmm.
use this as a bridge. We're meeting.
Hmm.
I'm meeting you a little more than halfway here, but I
Hmm.
believe in you, and like, let's try to do this much. So that has been going on pretty much since, God, whenever I made that YouTube video, probably like 2017 or something.
Oh
Um,
fuck.
and I recently, like, just like in the last couple of weeks, had to have that conversation with my mom at this point, because for me, I'm just in a different stage of life, and I'm going into different stages of life. And I have zero, I just, there's no reason for me to be for her to be using the wrong name, like pronouns, even with Bug or anything like that. So I had to just kind of draw the line and say, like, look, I can't have a relationship with you at this point, because it's been 6 years now of us like using Bugs, and that's a really long time. That's a really long
Yeah.
time. And I think it really clicked with her that like, that's a really long time. So I think she understood the message, and I think our conversation was one of the most civil ones we've had in a long time. And I think she understood, and you have to draw that boundary, because after a while, I'm like, you could be standing there face to face with someone and they're using the wrong things. And you're just like, man, the disrespect, like,
Yeah.
unconditional love means something. And it means you know what I mean? Without condition, no
Yeah.
matter what. And that
Hmm.
you're supposed to be there for your children no matter what. And so I think it really went through. And I feel like, you know, I'm gonna let that seed, do its thing. And my siblings know me as Bug, so at least that's a medium that I can use for them as they get older, and I'll get closer to them and things. So yeah,
Hmm.
I definitely I definitely think using a nickname is, before I would say, was like the permanent, that's an ultimate hack, right? But
Hmm.
which is what I thought at that time. But now that I'm seeing it, I do, like, this many years later, I definitely think it has to be a bridge, because, at least for me in my situation, because it's just not a bridge I wanted to be on anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to take this bridge every single day or every phone call. And like, you have that feeling when you get dead named or like use the wrong pronouns, and like your stomach drops and you just feel like just frustrated and like weird with yourself. And it's so frustrating. It's dysphoric. So, and after a while, even if it's on accident and they're supposed to use they and they end up using, she or something like that, that's, you have to be able to draw those boundaries for yourself. So it's interesting that you had said that, because that, for me, the pivotal point is like, I'm going into like a different stage of life. I'm going to be having some different responsibilities. And, Aaron, I know that, like, I just don't want that for me anymore. I want that. I want to be who I actually am, and like, not just let you slide because of whatever reason.
Right.
So your pivotal one was when she corrected to Bo in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. Well,
That
that
was your
was when I was like,
pivot moment.
okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Let's have a conversation now.
I think we can do this now. Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
And
how'd she react?
she was like,
Mhm.
she was like, "Ah, it's just hard." And I was like, I know it's hard. It's going to keep being hard until you get it.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
she came with me to go get my top surgery. She came over and stayed the
Uh,
night with us, and she also stayed the weekend. And
so incredible.
she messed up not once, not with pronouns, not with names,
Wow. And,
nothing. And she was
are
so
you close with her
supportive.
now?
I'm closer than I was.
Right. Yeah.
We
More.
do we do better with distance.
Sure. Many
Um,
many family members do that. Yeah.
right. So we're no different.
Yeah.
We do
Yeah.
better with distance. We talk occasionally.
Yeah.
I gave her a new keyboard, one of
Yeah.
my cute little pink keyboards that I built.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's awesome. Like,
I
you could use
well
those.
she yeah, so she came to when she came over for the weekend to see me off to top surgery. She brought like breastfeeding pillows for me. She brought baby wash so that I could wash my armpits while
Oh,
I had bandages and stuff. So she got me gauze and Neosporin and
that's so sweet.
yeah, and oh, slippers, and she brought me PJ pants,
Oh,
fluffy PJ pants, and socks, undies, button-up shirts
totally all
because I
the
had told her I
mom
needed.
things.
Yeah, it just came with like everything and brought us a brand new coffee pot. And
Wow, that's so sweet. Her.
it was so sweet. Yeah, what
Yeah.
the coffee pot was mostly for her because Tim likes pour over coffee.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that bullshit."
Yeah.
So,
My Nana will do the same thing. She will buy a coffee maker at Walmart if she's traveling and needs one.
yeah, she's like, "You keep this here, so when I come over, I don't have to deal with this bullshit." And I was like,
Every
"Okay,
person, there's so many people in my life like that.
yeah,
So funny. I'm so
yeah."
glad that you guys could like repair that though. That's so good. And
Yeah. And when I first told her about me eventually wanting top surgery several years ago, she was like sad. She was like upset that I would get top surgery, which was really weird to me. And it rubbed me the wrong way. And I
yeah,
was like, oh, like you're my mom and these are my tits. Like, it's not, why are you emotionally connected to my tits? Like, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And
weird
it's freaking me
situation.
out.
Yeah. I can see how that would be a weird situation. And I feel like it's common. I feel like that's very, very, very common because they
Yeah.
see it as something, they can see it as something terrible, as like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Not what it is for us.
I think I think what a lot of it might be, and it's so sweet for me to think of it this way. We haven't really talked about it, but my mom essentially right now, she's just happy that I'm happy and she understands it more
Mhm.
as, she gets to see me more in my transition and communicate with me more. Um,
Makes you more comfortable.
yeah. And I think because I am an only child
Mhm.
and I was assigned female at birth and I identified as a woman up until I was 22. So my mom got to have her daughter and dress her up and all the pretty little dresses and do her hair and all the pretty little braids and go to all the little ballet
Send her to
recitals
prom.
and right and go to do the prom and homecoming and all the stuff that you wanted to do with your
Checklists.
daughter.
Yep,
You
checklist.
didn't have right, you didn't have to raise a boy, and then you get the benefit of having an older son who's there for you to help you carry things, do work around the house. She
Yeah.
needed me to hammer shit in, move furniture because her shoulders hurt. And she would, one of the first times that I like saw her in person after I came out, it was before I started testosterone.
Mhm.
And she was like, I wasn't doing very well financially. And she was like, okay, well, you meet me in the Dollar Tree parking lot. We'll go to Walmart, we'll go to Dollar Tree, and we'll get you stocked up on all the stuff that you continuously need to buy. So
Right.
that way you don't have to buy these things like toothpaste, deodorant, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, bless, thank you. Yes. So I met her in the parking lot and we walk over to the deodorants and she's looking at and she's and I was like, she's gonna like go to the ladies deodorant, and she didn't. She went to like the Old Spice,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Is this the kind you like?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah. Don't even have to smell it. I love it.
She got me a bag of shavers, like the razors.
Yeah.
Um, the blue men's razors. She didn't get me the lady chic,
That's so
like the pink ring. Yeah, and she like it
that's
was like, and she didn't call me the right name or the right pronouns,
right.
but like to me that was like that was an effort.
It was a step.
You know, I was like, okay, like even like, all right, like I know this is going to be hard. She's my mom. If it's hard for everybody else, it's going to be hard for my mom. And right, especially moms.
Yeah.
So not only that, but then when we got to the car, when we were loading up the groceries, she like stood there like as if to say like, you load up the groceries, you're loading up the groceries. That's not something she ever did with me before. She
Yeah.
would always carry everything, and when I offered, she'd like, no, mama do. That was something she would always say, mama do.
Yeah.
And but I think as another kind of little gesture of hers, she was saying, you're my son and I'm your mother.
Right.
And if you were my son, I would have raised you to be the kind of son
That
to
unloads this. Yeah.
you carry the groceries for your mother.
Yeah.
And then she stood and waited for me to open her door. And I was like, I know you're making that face, but to me, like,
no. I mean, like, there's a lot of emotions on my face. No, go ahead.
We grew like, my mom is New York Italian, you know, my grandmother's New York Italian. You know that. We use Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, like,
So yeah.
So if she would have had a son, she would have raised me like that, because
Right.
that's kind of in the culture. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
especially because I would have been an only son. I would have been a mama's boy. And
right.
to a certain extent, I believe that I am.
Yeah.
And I love my mother. Like, she could be a bitch. But like, I've learned to compartmentalize her, and she's gone a long way. And
yes,
you know, say one bad fucking thing about my mother. I dare you. You know, like, not you, but like anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street, say one goddamn thing about my mother. I dare you. You know?
Yeah, no, and that's such a good to have.
Right. So she wanted me to carry the, you know, like non-verbally, she did these things. She would have never waited for me to open her door as a girl, you know, as her daughter. She wouldn't have done. She never did that. She did it because I'm her son, and her son opens the door for her. Yeah. And
you were like, oh my God, so firm.
I was like, oh shit. I'm sorry. Let me open this door, Ma. Fuck.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love doing that for Kayla too. I'm all about the door opening. I'm all about the respect, all about the respect here. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I just wanted to share, and if you were listening to find more like specifics on like how to change your name and changing your name, like in the process of how to do that, it's very obviously tricky depending on different situations in different locations in different states and different countries and all these different things. But there is a website that I used because I'm in Tennessee, so there wasn't a lot of resources for me to learn how to do that. But there was a specific website, I think it's Trans Equality. I'll link it below, and you can filter by your location and state, and it'll let you know, like, driver's license, birth certificates, passports, all kinds of different like IDs and things. So that if you're looking for more specifics on how to do that, that'll be linked below for you to be able to see how to. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I need to take a look at that.
It's it can be so hard, and because it's overwhelming, even though it breaks it. I mean, this breaks it down in a checklist that makes it easier for you, but the whole process can be overwhelming. And each individual step, like my wife right now we're in the middle of changing her last name from when we got married a year ago. We're just now starting to change the paperwork. So she's like, I mean, even for her as a cis person, it's like, she's procrastinating it and putting it off and stuff. So for someone who has emotionally charged going into these things, can definitely, can be a little procrastination there and overwhelming. But one step at a time, make your lists, write it down. If you get it off your brain, it might help your brain be a little bit less cluttered. and might help you break down the little steps in order to get to your bigger goal of changing your name. So,
Mhm. And some places have like when I was looking it up, I had to, at least where I'm from, I had to get a legal name change. Part of it was putting it in the newspaper,
oh
in
my,
my county's newspaper for 4 weeks straight.
I've seen that frequently. Oh my gosh. That was not something I had to do here in Tennessee, which was surprising.
I do not want to
Like,
do that.
why would someone want to do that? Yeah, that is uncomfortable. That is just
It's uncomfortable.
you're like publicly displaying some sensitive information about yourself and everyone. Yeah, that's strange.
I mean, like, who reads the newspaper anymore? But like,
Yeah, but
still, it's the
still.
principle of the
We
thing.
both said still.
I feel like the people who do read the newspaper are like more likely to like triangulate my location and attack me.
And you're saying that because demographically speaking, statistically wise, they're gonna be of the elder generation, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, yeah. So you have to, yeah, protection, like
Boomers,
safety first. It should be a thing. I can't believe that.
right?
So
I think you can get that waived,
that is,
but it's
but
also
looking
that's
into that,
another step that you have to do. Like,
right? Yeah,
and it's like $400.
it's expensive. Yeah, there's a lot of. I remember I was like, I think I was getting the business off the ground, and I was like barely making any money. And Kayla paid for my fees as a birthday gift to be able to
Aw,
change my name. Yeah, so I mean, even like it's tough to come up with just a big chunk of money like that, especially if
yeah,
you're already like struggling or trying to get on your feet or like in the hustle mode, in the dirt, getting it done. Like it's hard to prioritize yourself over bills, like sometimes that's not an option for people. So yeah, step by step, I would say definitely look at that stuff, break it down a little bit, and try to bite-sized pieces is what I would do. And
yeah. Bite-sized pieces is a good advice.
that's what I had to do. And it's you do a couple different locations, or I was born in a different state than here, so I had to like reach out to New York to get my like birth certificate changed, because you have to go to like the state of where you're born. So
So, oh my God, so I have to go back to my home state to get this shit done?
you don't have to go back to the location, but you do have to reach out to the state you were born in to get the birth stuff switched.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, it's a long list. I'm thinking about doing a little like almost a little course or a little video about how to at least access the information that will be updated accordingly, because
Can you just do it for me?
Whoa, don't even.
Can I just pay you to do it for me?
Stop. I'm almost gonna. Yeah. Yes, I can. That sounds like a great
Offer
idea.
that as a service, Aaron.
My brain was literally. You saw that. I was like calculating. I'm such a
Please.
I'm such a
Oh my
business
God.
guy.
Yes.
I hope you guys found this one helpful. We're actually gonna be having some merch coming out relatively fucking soon. So
Merch?
I can't say too many things, but I can say that we'll have a Toke&Trans article of clothing.
Ooh.
And I can say that Beau will have his own collection. So that's all you get to know. That's all you get to know.
My God.
That's it.
Wow. I can't wait.
Next Sunday, check it out. If you're catching up on episodes and you are like way farther than we are in the world and in this state of time, then they'll probably be linked below in this video. And yeah, so keep your eyeballs out for that. And
yay!
We'll see you next Sunday, my beautiful people.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.